who ended up starting on the pole, has led the first few laps from that said pole position. Just getting the race up on my television at the moment. NASCAR 25 stream ran just a little bit long, but we are still live. Just about 2 minutes late for today's race. Obviously, 22 minutes late, but 2 minutes late on the side of things that is the race itself going on. So lap 6 down the backstretch, 1 second lead already for Riggs as he's setting the tone early on. I'm taking Corey Heim for the race win today. Oh, already problems. 44 has gone around. That's Andres Perez. Slaps his truck into the outside wall. He was 3 wide. A couple of trucks underneath him. Matt Crafton. And somebody underneath Crafton. Crafton in the middle lane. Hooked Perez in the left rear, and around goes Perez. And by the time he got done with his spin, left front of his race truck slaps against the outside wall off the exit of turn 4.
Content. Battle for 13th here. And you could see it coming with the 3 wide move that Connor Bozek started. They'll just kind of come together here in 3 and 4. Perez is going to get the worst end of this.
We're under caution at Martinsville for the first time.
Seeing a replay of the incident, it almost looked like Perez kind of crowded down on the 2 trucks underneath him. 3 wide at Martinsville. Moral of the story, usually doesn't end very well. And I don't think he realized that they were 3 wide. Otherwise, I don't think he was going to make that move, personally. Robert Goodrich, Dean Tate, Patrick Shadley, Sue Brown, Deborah Carolla, welcome to the stream. Bam Hall, AJ Summers, and many others, welcome in. Thanks for staying tuned in, waiting, or watching the end of the NASCAR 25 stream as we had a doubleheader of content on the channel this weekend. This is the only live commentary stream of the weekend. We'll have a doubleheader for live commentary tomorrow on Saturday. And the NASCAR 25 stream will start a little bit earlier tomorrow before Wilkesboro, so we should be able to get done with that in plenty of time. First stream at 2:30 tomorrow, 4:30 for the second, 7:30 for the last one. Final live commentary stream of the weekend. Is here. Keeganator 5000. Just a couple minutes in, again, caution at lap 6 for Andres Perez with a spin after contact from a couple of trucks underneath him, Matt Crafton being one of which. That battle was going on for about 17th. Brent Cruz was also in that battle in the 1. And as for Perez, he is currently being scored 2 laps down. Still losing laps as he's on pit road with repairs being made. Clayton Green, who started the race dead last right now, pulled off the track. Actually didn't even make a lap. It looks like he pulled off before the start. So we'll see if he gets back out there at some point before the beginning. Or before the end of the race, excuse me. Maybe outlast some drivers who may have some DNFs because of incidents throughout. Tend to see a lot of cautions on the Truck and Xfinity races at Martinsville Speedway, and I don't think tonight's going to be any different with the tone setter that is the caution on lap 6.
You realize it, but you definitely don't want to run up the track and get out of the groove either. Yes. After you're trying to crowd that truck away.
5th straight race this season. We've had a caution within the first 10 laps. They seem to figure it out later on, and that's what happened a week ago when Gio Ruggiero, 19 years old, you see the restart here in the 17 truck. He's got his teammate Corey Heim behind him, pushing him. He blocks Corey Heim, and he brings it home for the first time in his young career. Stands tall, gets that trophy. And this week, looking a little different. He's got that win sticker on the driver's side door.
That's a good feeling. He hasn't announced what he's doing for next year, but you have to think that winning this race last week at Talladega in the Truck Series buoys his chances and opportunities for seasons to come. So congrats to Gio, well earned. This is one of those top talents that's kind of positioning himself as we see some of these truck drivers graduate on up into the Cup Series and Xfinity Series to be the next guy next year.
Here we go.
Ruggiero in that second place position after that win a week ago at Talladega. And Lane Riggs will lead the field on the restart. He elects the inside line. Green flag back in the air. Little slide of the rear tires for Riggs as he was going heavy into that braking zone in turn one. Might have wheel hopped it a little bit. Slight nudge with the 17 truck ran him a bit wide. And Ty Majeski now on the attack on Ruggiero for second. Corey Heim able to slip to the inside of the racetrack behind Majeski, waiting for him to make a pass so he can then attack on his teammate as well. All the playoff drivers in the round of 8 are in the top 9 positions, all qualified pretty well for tonight's event. You can see the point standings scrolling across the top of the screen. And on the big screen, we'll take a quick update of what those standings look like coming into the day. Corey Heim, obviously with a race win in the first race of the round at Las Vegas, is the only driver locked into the championship for at Phoenix. Very tight from second through 8th right now, or really second through 6th. Only 20 points is the difference into this elimination race at Martinsville, which will set up the championship for. So 3 spots available for this evening. Carruth is plus 14 points, most points above the cut line of any driver. Plus 8 for Tyler Ankrum, plus 5 for Caden Honeycutt. Minus 5 for Ty Majeski, minus 6 for Lane Riggs, who leads. Daniel Hemrick, minus 32. Grant Enfinger, minus 40. With all of them in the top portion of the field here in Stage 1, and they all get a bunch of stage points at Stage 1 and Stage 2, it is going to make a very tight points battle amongst probably 5 drivers or so. And because all those drivers are up at the front, the points deficits for that of Grant Enfinger and Daniel Hemrick, and the fact that they're last of the 2 playoff drivers right now, I would like to think that those 2 are probably in a must-win situation based off of how the early going of this race is at right now, plus the way qualifying had shaped up. I forgot they took the grass out of the infield of the racetrack in both corners on this half-mile paperclip. Got Yellowwood sponsorship down there, and that's odd enough because they sponsored the Cup race last weekend. Now they're back for sponsorship this weekend. And the Xfinity 500 title sponsor for the Cup Series race, and the Xfinity Series race with a completely different sponsorship as well. Kind of all over the place. 41 of Jones to the left rear of Crafton. Got into him just a bit, and then Timmy Hill into the back of the 41 as well. Kind of straighten him back out again. Crafton with a very defensive line is holding a lot of these trucks up behind him. Getting roughed up. Second to last race for Crafton in his full-time career in the Truck Series. And because of how much he is holding back a lot of the traffic behind him, huge bottlenecking going on at both ends of the racetrack. Caden Honeycutt, who came in final driver above the cut line, trying to make a pass on Corey Heim. Honeycutt, no career wins in the Truck Series, but has a shot to go for the title next week if he can compete for the championship 4. He's the only driver in the round of 8 of the playoffs that doesn't have a win yet in his Truck Series career. And obviously a new team mid-season as well. He's only been racing with this team for what will end up being the final 8 races of 2025 and has a shot to win the driver's title and the owner's championship potentially with that team as well, as they qualify because of a win at Michigan by Stuart Friesen earlier in the campaign. Caution is out on the speedway, second time today, lap 22, and I don't know if it's for Perez again or not, but caution flag is out.
Obviously saw that.
You got to wonder, we saw that checkup with Matt Kraft and Bailey Curry and some of those drivers back there. Maybe the fluid didn't have a factor in those trucks getting a little bit out of control.
21 laps into this one, 28 to go in stage number 1. Lane Riggs has led them all so far. Stay with us for Martinsville.
So caution for potential fluid, our second yellow of the race here in the early going. Going to watch the World Series at 8:15. I may catch some of it. I think my Red Wings are off tonight, so there's a high probability I'll end up catching some of the game. Jojo, welcome to the stream. First in-person NASCAR race was at Martinsville. Yeah, Martinsville's a lot of fun. I've only been there once. It was the fall race of 2021. Alex Bowman got the win that day. Late contact with Denny Hamlin. I personally think that was probably the last good flag-to-flag Martinsville. I don't want to say last good flag-to-flag Martinsville race. Definitely better than any of the next-gen races we've had there. Next-gen has had some moments, like the wall ride with Chastain. Long-run Ryan Blaney battling through the field the last couple of years. Christopher Bell with a win in an elimination race, which was actually the same race that was won. Or made it into the championship four with Chastain, that wall ride 2022. Kind of dire circumstances in all three of those events. Yeah, last live commentary streams of the season are this weekend. I've got to be at Phoenix next week for the championship race weekend. So because of that, this is going to be it for 2025. Our next live commentary stream after this weekend won't be until January. I'll be live for the Rolex 24 again. All 24 hours we'll be having live commentary on the channel just like last year. So try to keep that a tradition here on the channel. Unless I maybe go there in person. 17 likes on the stream. Our goal is to get to 50 for today's live commentary content. Oh yeah, of course, the Martinsville hot dogs. $2 a dog. Are they still $2 a dog? I would assume so. Can't go wrong with the $2 dog. $2 with all the stuff on it. Chili sauce and everything that goes with it. It's not just a plain hot dog for $2. You're getting everything on that bad boy. They're relatively small, but for $2, never going to complain.
Jackson Dart. He is fun to watch. What a rookie.
That whole team. What about Cam Scatterfoot? I think I said that right, but
Gosh.
what an exciting team the Giants are to watch and to watch when they get beat by the Broncos.
Good team to watch while my Detroit Lions are on the bye. So that'll be my
Well,
game.
teams are beating all of your teams.
We have a rivalry in the booth. Get ready to go to our choose here.
And didn't see him put down any oil dry around the racetrack so far. I know there was reports of
A lot of guys are hitting the choose box right here. Did you just see that? Saw Tyler Ankrum hit the choose box?
They didn't get
Hopefully a penalty. So
Yes.
we'll certainly take a look at that.
No, they didn't get
I
one to
guess we're all
go.
choosing right now.
No, we're not. I was going to say, we're not choosing at the moment. The flag man was not giving one to go. I don't know why that was tripping everybody up.
During this caution, we noticed Matt Mills was getting a little help on track. He was stalled. So something going on with his truck. Maybe that's the culprit here for, you see the hood up there on the 42. Maybe that was where the fluid was coming from. Meanwhile, let's get an update on Ty Majeski, Todd.
Yeah, Jamie, earlier today we heard in practice Ty talking about his truck. I hate my truck. It's pushing. It won't turn in a 40-acre field. Well, Ty just came on the radio. Guess what? He hates his truck. It's pushing. It won't turn in a 40-acre field. But guess what? He's running third.
So what does Joe Shear tell him? All right, good. You keep that pace. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I think Joe Shear right now, you keep your driver as calm as you possibly can. You tell them we're going to work on it when we do get the pit stop, even if we only get one chance. We will work on it. And you do everything you got to do. Keep him focused on staying in the position that he is right now.
These two have that dynamic relationship, so much mutual respect and understanding. That man right there can give a truck to Ty Majeski before this thing is over. That will be turning.
I think he's one of the best crew chiefs in all the garage. So let's see what this night brings from. I like how he chose the outside of this restart. This will be interesting. Lane Riggs has had 2 or 3 great launches in a row, but he has gone up against Ty Majeski on the front row yet. So this is a change of pace for him.
With the stage splits being 50, 50, and 100 for tonight's race, we already only have about 22 laps to go in the restart. Green flag back in the air. Problems for Lane Riggs as he was very slow to get going. A huge logjam on the inside behind him. Riggs not only falls out of the lead, but falls out of the top 5 as well. And Ty Majeski takes the point at the front of the field. Corey Heim up to 2nd. Tyler Ankerman 3rd. Grant Enfinger 4th. And Tanner Gray 5th. As they round out the top 5, Lane Riggs is 6th now. Caden Honeycutt 7th. Giro Ruggiero 8th. Brendan Queen 9th. And Raja Caruth rounds out the top 10. How many drivers had damage that might be significant down on the bottom lane? Obviously not for aerodynamic purposes here at a track like Martinsville. We don't want to puncture the nose and cause any sort of potential fluid leak, especially with a lot of playoff drivers up there in the top 10 on that restart. I wonder if Riggs might have missed a shift. Didn't really look like he spun the tires as much as it looked like he just missed a shift and slowed down as others around him were trying to speed up. Big opportunity for Majeski, who came in below the cut line on points, only 5 out, to try to get some points back. And for Lane Riggs, who was -6 coming into the day, a big loss here for him as he went from a possible stage win opportunity after leading every lap from the pole up until that restart. Now back again outside the top 5 in 6th. One of the drivers he's trying to race on points to get in. Tyler Ankrum is 3rd, already ahead of him. Grant Enfinger was able to move up to 4th, who was likely in a must-win situation. And Roger Carruth fell back to 9th. He was in that bottom lane and was stuck behind Riggs. Nowhere to go. He was in the inside of row 3, and now he's back a few more positions than that. Lost 4 spots. Also on the bottom lane on the restart. Corey Heim kind of pushing his teammate Gio Ruggiero to his first career win last week in a 1-2 finish for Tricon Garage, and Heim has a shot this week to try to go for win number 11 on the season. In the number 11, look, the record at Vegas for his 10th win of the year. Most all-time in a single Truck Series season. Still 2 races to go, and he could legitimately win his final 2 races. Fortunately for Heim, the championship not a lock, despite being a lock for the championship for us. So tonight doesn't mean as much for Heim other than career statistics when it comes to trying to get yet another career win at this series. Still nothing announced next season for Heim as to whether he'll be in the Cup Series or back in the trucks full time. Majeski leading the points as they run. Have Ankrum plus 15, plus 1 for Riggs, -1 for both Carruth and Honeycutt. Honeycutt fell from about 4th on the restart back to 7th, so a lot of drivers in those playoff standings went backwards. Carruth trying to hang on for 10th. He just got passed by Brent Cruz, and now Ben Rhodes looking to get by him as well. That hole in the nose could be a slight disaster for the 71 of Raja. Will be full-time at the Xfinity level next year with Junior Motorsports. So final chance to go for a truck title. 2 career wins, 1 in last season's sophomore year for Carruth. First season full-time at Spire Motorsports. Rookie season at GMS before they had shut down their operations and sold the team. And obviously second year for Carruth this year. First time in the round of 8 of the playoffs, and might have his first Championship 4 appearance upcoming as well. Seven-tenth of a second lead for Majeski over Heim. At the front of the pack, Norm Benning in the 6 truck right in that middle groove. Oh, he gets hit by the 7. And Benning back down the racetrack. Quick caution. Great save by the 6. Somehow didn't get spun back around. Made contact with Brendan Queen back down the racetrack. The whole field was just kind of barreling down on him and misjudged the speed difference between those trucks.
Splitting Norm Benning down the front straightaway, and Brendan Queen was just trying to go to the inside and follow those guys through as Norm got split, and it looked like just came together.
Look at the damage. Daniel Hemrick.
Ocean Water.
Ocean Water back in 14th right now. Things have gotten worse for one of our playoff drivers. Under caution once again for this incident. Poor Benning goes around. They check up.
So caution is out. We are late in stage 1. Ty Majeski leads. Corey Heim in 2nd. Tyler Ankrum 3rd. Then Grant Enfinger 4th. Lane Riggs in 5th. Tanner Gray is 6th. 7th for Caden Honeycutt. Gio Ruggiero 8th. Brent Cruz 9th. Roger Carruth is 10th. 11th for Ben Rhodes. Brendan Queen 12th. Connor Jones 13th. 14th is Daniel Hemrick. 15th for Bailey Curry. Chandler Smith 16th. Connor Mosak 17th. Dawson Sutton 18th. Matt Crafton 19th. And Jack Wood in 20th. Patrick Staropoli in 21st. Corey LaJoy, 22nd. Jake Garcia, 23rd. 24th, Timmy Hill. Tony Breidinger, 25th. Casey Mears, 26th. Spencer Boyd, 27th. Justin Carroll, 28th. AJ Waller, 29th. Frankie Muniz, last truck in the lead lap in 30th. Norm Benning just went a lap down at that incident in 31st. Logan Bearden, 4 laps down, 32nd. Matt Mills, 8 down in 33rd. Andres Perez, 11 down, but I believe back on track in 34th. Clayton Green did not complete a lap. 35th for him. 3 cautions all in stage 1. We're going to get a restart before the end of this stage. 1 lead change. Lane Riggs led the first half of stage 1 just about, 27 out of 50, and then the last 16 have been led by Majeski after Majeski took the lead on the restart after it looked like Riggs had missed a shift from the lead. 1 point per position for those top 10 in the running order at the end of stage 1 and stage 2. So the way the playoffs are shaped up right now, it'll be interesting to see how all those points will be scored. I'll be updating the point standings at the top of the screen throughout the course of today's race, so you know exactly how many positions one driver would have to beat another to point their way into the championship 4 by the time the final stage begins. We'll take our first break. You're listening live on KRC to our full flag-to-flag coverage of the Slim Jim 200. Start times for the rest of the streams this weekend are in the community tab. Triple header of NASCAR coverage on the channel tomorrow. Double header for live commentary purposes. Our live commentary streams beginning at 4:30 p.m. Eastern with Cup practice and qualifying for the Xfinity 500 at Martinsville. Xfinity race will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern immediately following that. And before all that begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be live for a NASCAR Cup Series race at North Wilkesboro Speedway on the channel, as we try to go for 4 wins in a row now with Kyle Busch, 3 in a row at Talladega and the mile-and-a-half tracks of Texas and Kansas. Actually led quite a few laps in the Kansas race en route to a victory earlier today.
Got Daniel Hammer's truck. Now it's not moving air through the radiator. Engine's overheating. That's why you're seeing the water push out. Those hoses you just saw a second ago, those are used to fill the engine back full of water because obviously it's lost some. And hopefully they got the repairs they need to get it back in contention.
Well, the challenge for the rest of their night is now he's a lap down making those repairs right there. So gonna have to get a caution time just right for him, maybe a quick yellow right here to get the wave around it. And now the goal is going to be get off strategy. How do we get off strategy and how do we make up that track position and maybe try to find our way to the front since it is a win and get in situation.
This is so unfortunate. Like Jamie said earlier, spring race winner probably came in with really high hopes that they could repeat that win and really didn't get a fair shot at this race. The damage accident was so early in the race and now it's no fault.
Now they're on the outside looking in. Now on this race,
4 laps to go in stage 1. Green flag back in the air. Majeski on the inside. Corey Heim on the outside. With Heim locked into the championship 4, Majeski in dire need of all these points, looking for 10 of them. Ankrum and Enfinger side by side as they battle for 3rd place off the exit of turn 4. Enfinger just trying to get himself in the best position by the end of the race. So looking to stay ahead. And Lane Riggs going to be extra aggressive, I'm sure, for the pit spot as he tries to get some of those positions back after starting this race in dominating fashion. Majeski led that lap at the line, but Corey Heim in the 11 is right there on the inside. Maybe washes up just a bit into the 98. Drag race down the backstretch as they head for turn 3. Heim on the inside, Majeski up high as they're still side by side for the race lead. Majeski a little bit too far wide through the center of 3 and 4. Majeski has been cleared by Heim. And Corey Heim leads for the first time today with 2 laps to go in stage 1. Grant Enfinger won the battle for 3rd, side by side for 4th, Tanner Gray and Tyler Ankrum. Ankrum, playoff driver, nearly clear up off the exit of the corner. Lane Riggs boxed in behind both of them. Majeski charging hard, trying to get a point back on Corey Heim. 1 lap to go in the stage. Heim accelerates quicker than that of Majeski up off the exit of the corner. Now barreling into 1 and 2. Both trucks tight around the curbing to the inside. And it will be Corey Heim winning stage 1. Will be Heim time yet again. 2-time Martinsville winner is Heim. And the Craftsman Truck Series looking for his 3rd grandfather clock in this series. A couple trucks getting together as they cross the start-finish line looking for points at the end of the stage. I'm not sure who that was. It looked like maybe Honeycutt trying to battle to get back a position or 2 there. Don't want to tear the fenders off of it this early, but that goes to show how important those stage points are for these playoff 7 going for those final 3 spots this evening. Corey Heim wins. Well, that means we're going to have 3 drivers that are going to have to point their way into the championship 4 after tonight. Following Heim, who was P1 at the end of that stage, Ty Majeski was 2nd, Grant Enfinger 3rd, Tyler Ankrum 4th, Tanner Gray in 5th. 6th was Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt 7th, Giro Ruggiero 8th, 9th for Raja Caruth, and Brent Cruz rounds out the top 10. So early going of stage 2 now in today's race. Couple of lead changes for cautions, all for incident in the early laps. All right, so based off of the stage points scored there, scroll down our screen. I'll actually take some pictures so that way I can make sure that the running order is correct on my screen. All right, so on the cut line, Caden Honeycutt ended up picking up 4 points. So 4 for Honeycutt to Majeski's 9. So Ty Majeski would be +1 on Honeycutt. Riggs ends up losing 4 points, so he's -5. So I believe it's going to be Riggs -5, Honeycutt -1, Majeski +1. And then Tyler Ankrum was 4th. 4th in the stage for Ankrum, so he gets 7 points, loses 2 to Majeski. He's +6. Caruth got 2 points for 9th in the stage. So he loses 7 to Majeski. I believe he is now +7. I guess technically he'd be +8 on Honeycutt. Hopefully I've got it right up at the top of the screen. Pit road is open.
You're going to see different guys flip the stages here. So you got the 7 truck in, 1 truck Brent Cruz, had some damage on the left side.
The field, maybe more than half, has damage.
Jack Wood on pit road.
And as we look at the possible strategies tonight, this is one strategy that could play out. If you go ahead and pit right here, you can make it to the end of the race if you need to from this point right here. So any of the trucks that were maybe struggling just a little bit, they go ahead and pit road. But as you see right there, none of these guys that pitted were playoff drivers. And, I think that kind of tells you where their minds are going to be at. Stage 2 will be where that pit stop will happen for the majority of our trucks that are up for.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody took the gamble here, though. There's some guys that didn't really have a lot to lose. So I'm a bit surprised, but, still a lot of racing left to go.
Daniel Hemrick, though, he's got that damage, must come down and continue work on that.
And talked about when we saw him on pit road needing to get that free pass, he was able to get that free pass. It worked out. Nobody else got lapped and back on the lead lap. So now you just try to button that truck up as good as you can and give your driver everything you can to tell him to go to battle with it. And tell by the look of it, it's not going to be perfect, Brad. It's going to be something he's going to have to make do with.
Amanda? Yeah, and it's probably not going to be pretty either. And as you guys just said, he got that lead lap back. I was talking to Kevin Belcourt. He hopes that they can stay on it right now. Radiator issues for Daniel Hemrick, and they are having temperature issues with him out on track. And Brad, you were saying that there's a lot of racing left in this race, and that's exactly what you know Daniel Hemrick is hoping. Kevin Belcourt said, we are going to give it everything we can. We're going to keep on trying. Daniel Hemrick last raced in the Truck Series back in 2016. This year decided to take this full-time ride. Got that win here in March. Are his championship hopes over? They're going to keep digging. Stay with us. Stage number 2 coming up.
All right, I believe I've got the point standings updated now at the top of the screen. I'm going to read this off. Obviously, Heim advanced into the next round, I believe, to start Stage 2 based off of stage points scored for all these playoff drivers or not scored based on where they finish in Stage 1. I believe Carruth, who came in plus 14, is now plus 8. Ankrum came in plus 8, is now plus 7. Majeski, who was minus 5, is now plus 1. Honeycutt, who came in plus 5, is minus 1. And Lane Riggs, who was minus 6, is now minus 5. Enfinger goes from minus 40 to minus 37, and Hemrick from minus 32 to minus 37. And Hemrick was the only playoff driver who did not get stage points in Stage 1. Didn't Honeycutt win this year? No, he did not. He pointed his way into the playoffs. Yeah, he's the only driver in the round of 8 that does not have a career win in the Truck Series. He's going to have to do a little bit more with the speed Majeski's showing tonight if he's going to want to point his way in. I think that battle's going to be between Lane Riggs and Majeski for 4th, although there's a chance that Lane Riggs outpoints Tyler Ankrum or Raja Carruth. Ankrum's up in the top 5 right now. I think if he keeps his truck clean, he's going to be quicker than Raja. Raja's slipping back there at the end of Stage 1 after being up in 5th. Some of that was the contact and the restart. He does have a bit of a hole in the nose, not as bad as obviously the 19 of Hemrick. But keeping his track position at the front of the field. These playoff drivers definitely going to go for stage points at all costs. They're all trying to keep track position by staying out of the pits. Had quite a few caution laps already. This is our 4th caution of the race today. With this being the stage yellow, we had 3 cautions for incident in the 50-lap opening stage. 60 laps complete, 26 of those under caution. Not a rare occurrence to see nearly 40 to 50% of the laps of this 200-lap race that will likely be spent under yellow. I tend to see a lot of cautions at Martinsville in the truck and Xfinity events. I believe the Xfinity series a year or two ago had like 15 yellows. So it's going to be a long start to the weekend for Friday and Saturday. Arena Sarah, welcome to the stream. Gonna have to miss the restart. I got to go down and feed the dogs at the moment, so I'll be back in a little bit. I'll let you listen into the race coverage.
This race truck back in 9th right now. Let's listen to his radio.
Hey, man, I know you're trying really hard. You're doing a great job. We'll get some tape on that nose, get rid of the parachute, or whatever. Break no prisoners. Pretty aggressive, smart.
Kevin Bonomania and his crew chief. Well, pep talk there for his young driver.
It's just what a driver like him needs as we head to this restart. Still a lot of racing left.
Corey Heim doing what he's done all year. Just perfect on the restart.
And
Raj took the outside. Look at Raj up the inside.
He took that advice. Still preserves very aggressive 3-wide move underneath Caden Honeycutt, trying to get those stage points.
Look at Lane Riggs in the 34. Big block by Tanner Gray, stopping the momentum from the 34.
Lane's going to try to the outside now as we get down into turn 1 and 2. Curious to see if he's able to get enough drive off the corner to stay side by side and possibly make this work. That could open up options as the race goes on these restarts for guys if they see it work for them.
Raja closing that gap. Kate Honeycutt right behind him. Tyler Ankrum and the 18 guys just minding his business. Nice and Wyatt, we haven't talked about him a whole lot, just running forth, doing what he needs to do in that 18 truck.
And Jamie, I think that was really the big winner from stage one. When you look at the points and where things were stacked up, how they were stacked up, he did exactly what he needed to do. Again, another truck that looks to have minimal damage from, if any damage from that stacked up. Just keeping his nose clean and running a smart race right now. That's what, if he can do that for one more stage, he'll have a little buffer going into stage three.
Great battle here. Lay Rich was able to clear himself from the outside lane against Tanner Gray. That just shows how much speed is in that race truck. If he can make moves like that, he's got the opportunity to go to the front, win this race.
Yellow and in green, but under in the top 8. Meanwhile, Daniel Hemrick had to come down pit road again for more damage assessment. He is a black fit once again.
Seem to have gotten calmed down just a little bit for the moment right here, and maybe just feeling out their trucks a little bit. Perhaps they're now on 50+ laps on their tires, and you know, this is kind of the stage on tires for most of these front runners where you wonder, is there going to be fall off? What's gonna take place as these tires get more and more laps on?
Absolutely. You know, we practiced during the middle of the day. The sun was out. That concrete was warm. It took rubber, so the tires didn't wear as hard as they probably aren't going to wear right now. Obviously, didn't run as many laps in a row. Didn't run 100 laps to practice straight. So this will be a big moment to see whose truck can handle all the wear and tear and whose can't.
The top 8 stayed out. They have not pitted yet in this race. First truck that did pit is Corey LaJoy back in 9th in the 77. And each team has
an out one there with Kate Honeycutt. You could hear him hitting the rev limiter at the end of the straightaway. Those cool temps have increased the speed in the racetrack, and because of that, the engines are right at their limits.
It's so weird when you're driving one of these trucks and you get on the rev limiter and you just want to stay in the gas. You want to drive through it as far as you can. You're like, no, I don't want to lift yet. And we see a great battle right here with Kate and Project Fury for the 7th position. A little bit of bumper attack through the middle of the corner. That's normal for Martinsville. You're just trying to let the guy know that you're back there.
Yeah, Caden lost a spot on that restart to Raja, but I think his truck's a lot faster. And he's fallen behind here on the 4.6. He's forecasted to be 9 below the cutoff right now. He needs these spots.
these drivers are getting from this half mile. Well, so 20 seconds-ish on lap, and that equates to, well, they're hitting top speed of 115 miles an hour. Like you said, Rev, slow is on the track, and contact right there. Raja Carew slows after Caden Honeycutt.
Flat tire.
He goes first damage.
This is huge for Raja, for the team, and for all the playoff level standings. This is going to completely reshape the format here.
Oh, look at the concern on their faces.
Had some contact off of turn 4 with Caden Honeycutt. Most likely cut that left rear tire down. Didn't know it till he got to the corner. Then it was too late.
And that looked exactly like what happened in the spring race, battling for the lead. Caden Honeycutt alongside Corey Heim. They had that very similar contact. Nothing malicious, just typical Martinsville racing. And once that left rear tire gets caught and cut down, you can't do anything.
You can see
about
the contact. All on that left rear tire. And right here, you can tell
knows
something's
right now.
wrong. And
Yep.
you're just going too fast to be able to do anything about it.
Raja was 8th at the time,
Tough break.
doing all he could with all the damage he already had from earlier contact.
I'm going to tell you, he's not going to be very happy over this. You know, not only did his day get ruined, but that contact with Caden Honeycutt was pretty tough.
Raja Caruth trying to race his way into the championship 4 for next week. This week announced that he's going full-time racing in the Xfinity Series. Part-time will be for Junior Motorsports. So very happy week for Raja, but sad ending here as he sits on the track with an extremely damaged racetrack.
And that was hard contact with the nose of his truck, obviously, and you see with the tire off right there and the damage that he's got. He was trying to drive it away, and it's
not happening.
It's not going to happen. And
So we're under caution here at Martinsville for the 5th time tonight after damage to Raja Caruth. His night is over.
Well, quite a bit of damage there for Caruth. Probably going to take him out of the race after a caution flag had come out. I had missed it, but I had heard it. And then obviously saw the replays after the fact. Contact with Caden Honeycutt battling for position inside the top 10. Two playoff drivers getting together and obviously cutting the left rear tire down for Caruth before the spin in turns 1 and 2. And he hit pretty hard, head on, back of the race truck, quite a bit of damage. Caruth has definitely fallen off of the lead lap. If they can keep him in the race, he could probably save at least a few points because he's currently scored in 30th. There are a few trucks that have lost several laps that are still on the racetrack that could end up beating him, and every position's worth 1 point here. So whatever they can do to try to keep him in the race, best for him. Coming into this final stage, he was 8 points above the cut line. He was actually still sitting second in the points based off of where they were coming into the day in the stage 1 points. So he's got a little bit of a cushion over the cut line. The problem is the driver that's first driver out below that said cut line is Caden Honeycutt, who was the driver who made contact with him, causing him to spin. He's in 10th. And then Lane Riggs in 8th, who is also only an additional 4 points back. So not looking great there. Let the dogs outside right before I came up. Wanted to make sure I got up here before the end of the caution, so I'm going to have to go back down as soon as they come back from commercial. A little bit outside the fuel window to make it to the end, so I'd imagine a lot of the front runners are going to stay out of the pits more than likely here. Five cautions already in today's race in just 77 laps out of 200. The old Slim Jim 200. Martinsville Speedway. 31 likes on the stream. Our goal to get to 50. We're only 19 shy of our goal. Truth on the record, heading to the garage. His day's done.
That brought out our fifth caution for
Brett
tonight.
Whitesides, welcome to the stream. Shane Richards, thanks for tuning
To
in.
go. Let's take another look a little further back where this all started for Raja Caruth and Kate Honeycutt.
And right here, you see coming off of turn 2, just a little nudge. Nothing egregious, nothing too much to worry about there. Caden Honeycutt sees that he can make a run down in there. He does. Raja gives him room. Maybe a little bit up on the curve right there, Brad. They touched. It was nothing. Again, I go back to what I said before. Nothing malicious. That's Martinsville racing. But unfortunately, when they get side by side like that, the exhaust pipe on Caden Honeycutt's truck was right where Raja Caruth's left rear tire was. And as soon as those make contact, it cuts that tire down instantly.
You know, Martinsville is it's a short track. This is part of short track racing. It's not fun, but you're going to have contact. Unfortunately for Raja, like you said, the contact was just in the wrong spot. That exhaust pipe against the tire, it was a.
Let's listen to Caden Honeycutt's radio.
Did I run him out of room or like what? Got together and he got a clever.
Yeah, and I think Caden's trying to reference for later in the race, like did I run him up the track or did I not give him enough room? And man, I stand by what my initial eyes told me was that is Martinsville, that is short track racing right there. And you know, now there's a certain element that you got to refocus your driver if you're, you know, Caden Honeycutt spotter and team, refocus your driver also. Okay, task at hand still. That's behind us now. We got to look forward.
Yeah, now we're looking at the points as they run right now. It's a tie for the transfer. Caden Honeycutt, 0 point difference between him and Lane Riggs. There is a lot to race for Caden Honeycutt, and he's going to need, to your point, get refocused on the task at hand to try to get this truck to the next round of Championship 4 in Phoenix.
As we get ready for this restart right here, for whatever reason tonight, when you go back 4 or 5 rows in the pack, we're seeing those bold moves. We saw Raja Caruth do it on the previous restart, being able to go 3 wide. It just appears like there's a little more jam up than normal as they're going into turn 1, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that for the rest of this race. It seems to keep on happening here.
So Raja Caruth, the first of our playoff drivers out. Daniel Hemrick back on the lead lap with a lot of damage. And here we go for the restart with Corey Hunt. Temperature on the outside, and there's the 9, a grand end figure doing exactly what he needs to do, but he's got to win this race to advance.
Lane Ricks with an excellent restart, chose the fourth position, was able to fill in underneath both of these drivers for second. He might take a look here for 3 wide. Big block by Grant Enfinger. Contact. He's going to push it with the racetrack.
And it works. Lane Riggs picks up another spot. You see in the pylon, Lane Riggs, he has that clock. That means he's had the fastest lap tonight. Driver with the fastest lap picks up an extra point, and that 1 point could be the difference of making it to the round of 4.
And I like what Lane Riggs did going into turn 3 there. Grant was getting ready to repay the favor. He knew it was coming. Gave him a little bit of room. Just here's the button. Yep, I know that I got into some right there. And let me find another lap.
That was a big sequence, like I said, for Lane, though. Moved himself up a couple points, gave himself a little cushion.
Continues leading here as he's led in every single race this season. 24. We have 1 race remaining.
What a stat. This has been the Corey Hyde show. We're watching a lot of different things happen throughout this race, but let's not forget how great Corey Hyde has been this year.
I just don't have a weak spot, Brad. I mean, everything you look at with that 11 truck, they find a way to get the job done. And when you really think about his season as a whole, 3 or 4 other races very easily could have been possibly were races. Not only did he dominate, but should have been his. And I think that we're going to be talking about this for a long time to come. Martinsville earlier this year being one, we referenced earlier, got the cut lap rear at the very end of that race. He dominated that one as well.
He already holds records for most wins in a season ever with 10, most top 3 finishes in a season with 79 straight coming into this race. Tonight, he could become the laps leader most ever in a season, something that Mike Skinner set back in 1996. So basically, if you're watching Corey Heim, he's leading 34 laps and counting now. If he leads 84 laps tonight, he takes over most laps led ever in a season.
He's got a great shot. There's a lot of racing left, too, and he is in the catbird seat.
You see right there, Brent Cruz taking another position from Caden Honeycutt, pushing Caden back to the 9th spot right now, and has a couple of hungry trucks behind him as well when you think about Ben Rhodes as well as Matt Crafton back there. So trying everything he can do to save these positions right now.
Brent Cruz got roughed up earlier. Quite a bit of damage on that number 1 truck. The last time we saw him was at the Roval just 2 races ago, had the race of his career, led the most laps, dominated, sputtered for fuel. The last couple of laps had to pit, was able to come back and finish second.
So Cruz has the newest tires of all these guys. So it'll be interesting to see if he can drive up here over the next 10 laps. Give himself some track position to set up the next pit sequence. But it does show to me, Regan, that tires do make a little bit of a difference.
They do, and I think that's something that was a little curious when this race started, right? Brad, was at what lap count would the tires make a difference? And that matters for this final stage too, because potential 95 lap run to the checkered flag, and what happens if you get a caution with 30 to go? We've seen it at Martinsville plenty of times with the Truck Series.
Absolutely, Caden Honeycutt. He's so desperate for these points, and he's surrounded with trucks that have fresher tires than he has. He needs to hold those guys off here for the next 9 laps to finish out this stage. Those points are too valuable to lose.
Dave Honeycutt making his way around Norm Benning. Just behind him, a couple of teammates battling for a top 10 with Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton.
Our good news for Caden Honeycutt as we ride along with him right here. A little bit of separation from him back to Connor Jones right now, which will be the next truck coming with those tires, with fresh tires. So if he can just keep that second interval that he's got right now, then get through to the next yellow and come get your fresh tires and figure out what happens from there.
Corey Heim with a 1 second lead over Ty Majeski.
We'll watch the lap times here. For the top 3 trucks have been running within hundreds of each other the last few laps. These guys are very evenly matched.
Cream always rises to the top in these playoff races, don't they?
These 3 here are 3 of the best for sure.
Ty Majeski in the 98 They know when it's go time. We've seen it time and time again with this organization. They did it last year, punched their ticket to Phoenix, won the championship. Looking to back that up here.
And Ty has been so consistent through the playoffs, and I think Talladega about getting the stage points with the troubles they had there, but still finding a way to get the result, finish in third place. But he has been super consistent and running inside the top five, as much as anybody right now.
10 straight top 10 finishes for Ty Majeski. The one thing that I'm so curious about is the fact that he has not found a victory lane this year. That's just surprising. He's had multiple opportunities, races that he has dominated, but they haven't found it just yet.
This just doesn't seem right? The champion from last year hasn't won yet. We've come to expect that out of Ty in that 98 team.
He's talked about it. They haven't had the season they expected. However, when it came to playoff time, I just said it. He's got 9 straight top 10 finishes, 10 straight top 10 finishes.
Yeah, when you look at Ty, and his entire organization is with us, so I wouldn't say it's just his problem. It's a problem for all of them. Matt Craftsman has not had the year he's wanted. Ben Rhodes, the same story. So work to be done there for sure.
Corey Heim making his way around some lab traffic. The O2 and Logan Bearden. There it is, green and white, checker flag in the air. Corey Heim beats that stage. Number 2, that would be 21 stage wins for Corey Heim the year. Ty Majeski brings it home second. Lane Riggs, Brent Enfinger, and Tanner Gray having a great night, guys. Top 5 for him. 2 stages down. Could Corey Heim hang on for win number 11? We'll be back with pit stops.
Halfway through the race now. Sorry again about the camera being off at the moment. I'm kind of in and out of my room at the time being. Halfway through tonight's event now. Stage 2 has just concluded. This is our 6th caution of the race. 4 incidents so far, 3 of them in stage 1. Only 1 in stage 2, but Raja Karuth alongside Caden Honeycutt making some contact, resulting in a cut left rear tire for Raja Karuth. Up into the wall he ended up going. His day is now done. He was on the wrecker, headed back to the infield during that last caution period. And your stage 2 results up at the front of the field. Corey Heim sweeps the stages here today at Martinsville Speedway. Ty Majeski ends up second in the stage. Lane Riggs third. Grant Enfinger fourth. Tanner Gray in fifth. Tyler Ankerman sixth. 7th place for Brent Cruz. Caden Honeycutt 8th. Connor Jones 9th. And Ben Rhodes rounds out the top 10. So calculating points here. Yet again. First driver out would have been Caden Honeycutt coming into the final stage, as he would have been -1 point to that of Ty Majeski. I think Hemrick and Karuth were the only 2 playoff drivers who did not get stage points, with Karuth out of the race and now back to 34th, which is where he's going to end up today. 2 stage points in stage 1 for him, and then 3 points for his finishing position in 34th. So just a 5-point day total for Karuth, who came in plus 14 above the cut line. Not looking great for him. All right, so Majeski gets 9 to Honeycutt's 3. That's a 6-point gain for Majeski in that stage above the cut line. So now Majeski is +7 or -7 for a Honeycutt. Riggs, who is -4 coming into the stage, only 1 point behind Majeski. So he is going to lose 1 there, -5 for him. So Riggs will be -5, -7 for Honeycutt. And again, this is based off of stage points scored. Tyler Ankrum gets 5 points in the stage for finishing in 6th. So on Honeycutt, he gets +2. Riggs going to outpoint him. -4 before this. It's tough math because positions are swapping around here. We're going to make sure I've got this right for you. Pit road is open in the meantime.
Lane Riggs, he got a little tight when he was back in traffic, got that clean air, and it didn't get any better. So they're going to free the truck up a little bit. The 98 of Ty Majeski, he still does not like his truck. It's gotten even worse as the run went on. Joe Shear Jr. going to take a big swing at it. And
See Tyler pulling in there, and he talked about how this playoff's been a haunted house. We survived the boogeyman so far here, but he's struggling with a tight truck out there as he's going to take tires on that 18 and then of Caden Honeycutt. It's been a tight truck for him as well. But biggest concern out there, he's saying, I cannot get this throttle down, guys. He said at the top of the race, I have to stress patience. And Regan, as you just said, it's been chaos out there.
Thank you, Amanda. Whole gaggle of trucks come out behind Corey Heim. His team gets it done. Ty Majeski as well. Tanner Gray's had a great night. Improves 2 spots with his pit crew. See, Kate Honeycutt's team got it done. Lane Riggs, though, loses 2 spots. And guys, he didn't have a great pit selection because he didn't qualify last week at Talladega.
And another truck with trouble on pit road. You see Tyler Ankrum right there. Looked like they were having some trouble on the right front initially. Not sure what caused him to still be on pit road right now there, but tough break for him. He's done everything right up until this point. And to your point, Jamie, lost the pit selection for Lane Riggs. Had a little bit of a slow stop on the right front also watching them. But what I really took away from that also is you saw the opening for him because Roger Cruz's no longer there.
Let's take a look at that pit stop you just talked about. Watch the right front.
Looks like it won't quite come out or go back in here. The tire's hitting the fender.
See the fender buckling right there. Just can't quite get it up to get it onto there.
And the jackman was struggling to get the tire inside there. I don't think that was jackman's fault. The clearances are just a little bit too tight. Same problem here on the left front as well. He's asking to jack it up just a little bit higher.
Oh, the pit
brakes. Oh my goodness. And like you said, Regan, Tyler has done everything perfect in this race. Now he's got some adversity here. He still has a point gap to work off of, but it just got a lot smaller.
Guys, Raja Karuth is out of the race and out of the medical center. He's with Amanda.
Yeah, Jamie, and as he walked over to the interview, he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, it happens. I know you've seen the replay at this point. Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling really good about our chances. Our HenryCars.com server bottom was turning very well tonight, and it started with the 34 missing the ship on the restart and knocking the nose up, and kind of was battling the handling from that point. And obviously watching it here, it's just racing. I know it wasn't on purpose. You've seen it. I mean, he did it to Corey Baxton in the spring, and Cup guys have done that same thing. So it obviously wasn't on purpose. Just bummer it was me. So it's yeah, heartbreaker for sure. I think we were in a really good spot. But it is what it is. So we'll keep on pushing, and the sun will still come out tomorrow. It sucks now, but yeah, it's part of it.
See you in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Great attitude. I don't think I could be.
Yeah, Karuth is pretty much done. He would need a lot of help going forward. I'm still in the midst of trying to sort all of this out. So because he came in with a 14-point cushion, he should be 3 points to the good over Lane Riggs based off of stage points alone. If my math is correct. So then -3, -5. Lost one. Okay, so I think I've got it correct now. So points coming into the final stage. From what I've got calculated, I've got Ankrum plus 9, Majeski plus 5, plus 3 for Caruth, minus 3 Riggs, Honeycutt minus 5, the minus 32 for Enfinger, minus 37 for Hemrick. So those are the amount of points or positions. Those are the positions that one driver would have to beat the other to get in. Because Raja Caruth is out of the race and scored in 34th, that means 31st or better for Riggs, or 29th or better will end up beating Raja Caruth for both Honeycutt and Riggs. And it's a 2-point difference between Riggs and Honeycutt. So basically, if we're looking at that final spot right now, if my math is serving me correct, Caden Honeycutt would have to beat Lane Riggs by 2 positions to tie 3 to outright beat Lane Riggs for that final cut spot, or he would have to beat Ty Majeski by 5 positions or Tyler Anker by 9. 3 of those drivers are going to get in, but that's the point situation that we are looking at late in this race. Gaggle of trucks around the racetrack, few laps into the restart here as we begin stage 3. Gio Ruggiero out in front with a little bit of flipping in the field, with drivers staying out for the playoff side of things to get those stage points at the end of stage 2. They have cycled backwards in traffic just a bit. Ruggiero with a 0.2 of a second lead over Cruz. Jack Wood is in third, 1.1 seconds out of the lead. Bailey Curry 1.5 seconds back at fourth. Chandler Smith rounds out the top 5 in fifth at 1.8 seconds off the lead. Hemrick in a must-win situation as of right now, being 32 points below the cut line. He's not going to be able to outpoint Caruth by that many spots without winning mathematically. So, and obviously with Riggs and other drivers that were ahead of him in points still in the race, Hemrick is in a must-win situation. Grant Enfinger practically in a must-win situation as well. So on the point side of things, 3 of them will get in between Majeski, Riggs, Ankrum, and Honeycutt. Assuming we don't get either Hemrick or Enfinger to go to victory lane. If one of those 2 goes to victory lane, only 2 of those 3 drivers will get in. It's a little confusing right now just because of how tight the points battle was coming into the weekend. Riggs still has the fastest lap of the race as well, so I did already add that point onto it. On top of the stage points, assuming Riggs will still have the fastest lap of the race by the end of the night. He could lose that point. Maybe another playoff driver could get it, but right now at lap number 5, Riggs put down a lap time of a 20.002, which is the race's fastest lap. Riggs making a pass on Honeycutt, or at least attempting to the outside for 11th. Maybe the tactic for Honeycutt, just keep cutting left rear tires down on all of his competitors. He's battling with for the championship. That'll get him in eventually. Probably won't win him the title next week, but good tactic to get there. Story of the night by way of more record-breaking season performances for Corey Heim. Heim would have to lead 84 laps tonight to beat Mike Skinner's mark for the most laps led in a single Truck Series season. So with 80 laps to go this time by, he's currently sitting at 54 laps led. So he needs 30 more laps led to get the all-time record. If he doesn't this week, obviously another week next week at Phoenix as well. Cruz with some back bumper damage after logjam on an earlier restart when Lane Riggs had spun the tires. Leads for Cruz to still have his race truck underneath him. And he is battling his Tricon Garage teammate for that said lead, more than 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. Camera is off because I have to go back and forth still between myself and the dogs. My parents' dogs, they're out of town for the week. They were out of town last weekend too, but they're out of town this weekend as well. Been down in Georgia. It's in the middle of getting them dinner and taking them outside. I still got to run back downstairs again, so I just figured I'd turn the camera off so you guys weren't looking at an empty chair for a while. But I'm obviously here at the moment. I still have to leave for a quick second again. Just waiting for them to get to the next commercial break, and then through that, then I'll go have to leave for a little bit again. Full field running order rundown now with where everybody is at with the scrambling of the running order with the stage split. Drivers who pitted during the caution in the middle of stage 2 versus at the end of stage 2. Feels going to be tight to the end for those that decided to stay out, but if we get enough caution laps, they should easily be able to make it. No caution laps yet in stage 3 outside of the stage break itself, but I doubt we stay green to the end. Gio Ruggiero is our race leader. Brett Cruz is second. Jack Wood in third. Bailey Curry fourth. Chandler Smith is fifth. And sixth is Daniel Hemrick. Corey LaJoy seventh. Corey Heim up to eighth after winning the first 2 stages. Ty Majeski ninth. Connor Mosack rounds out the top 10. Then Caden Honeycutt in 11th. Lane Riggs 12th. Grant Edfinger 13th. Tanner Gray 14th. Connor Jones is 15th. 16th for Brendan Queen. Marpoli 22nd. Jake Garcia 23rd. Tony Breidinger 24th. And Dawson Sutton 25th. 26th for Justin Carroll. Frankie Muniz 27th. Last truck on the lead lap. And Casey Mears is 28th. AJ Waller 29th. Logan Bearden 30th. Matt Mills 31st. Andres Perez 32nd. Norm Benning 33rd. Roger Crute 34th out of the race. And Clayton Green 35th. Did not complete a lap and never made it to the start of the event. Current points as they run have Ty Majeski in the +9 spot right now in the 8th position. Lane Riggs is +3 and 10th. Ankrum is +1 on Caden Honeycutt, with Honeycutt in 12th, and Ankrum a little bit further back in the running order as he currently sits in 19th. So Ankrum struggling in traffic just a little bit more than his competitors. Ankrum had the biggest points margin based off of the first 2 races of the round, stage points, and obviously where he was at the regular season, standings, playoff points, and all that. But anyway, going into this final stage, he was +9 above the cut line to that of Riggs and Honeycutt. Honeycutt would have to beat Tyler Ankrum, I believe, by 13 positions. So the fact that he has cut that down to -1, he's in a pretty good spot. I had that wrong, 11 positions. He's 2 points behind Riggs. Riggs would have to outpoint Ankrum by 9 spots. And Honeycutt would have to outpoint Ankrum by 11. Majeski's got to outpoint him by 4. All for Ankrum to be eliminated. Still 68 laps to go this time by. He's got a lot of time.
Nice here. A lot of fast trucks around him. It's going to be very difficult for him to win this race, but you got to appreciate the effort.
So Lane Riggs picks up another spot. Riggs +5 above that cut line.
3 wide into turn 3 here, and we're going to make it work out.
This is where, if I'm Joe Shear, Ty Majeski's crew chief, I'm telling you, hey, look, I want you to win the race. We all want to win the race, but you don't have to win the race. You're in a good spot right now. Don't get yourself in trouble. Avoid any self-inflicted harm that you can possibly avoid. That's what he needs to know right now.
How much of that do you like to know, Brad? You've been in these situations multiple times.
I went off for a second, right? Because your mentality is very dynamic. It's changing based on your situation, and the situation has changed for Ty Majeski. He entered this race needing a great day. He doesn't need a great day anymore. He needs a good day.
Right.
That's what his crew chief needs to tell him.
Caden Honeycutt at 52 just picked up a spot, and that bumped Tyler Ankrum outside by 1.
Bring it out with you. I think that one's going to keep shifting back and forth as Tyler Ankrum works his way through some of this traffic. He's been back and forth with Ben Rhodes. He's got Queen in front of him now. Butterbean Queen.
Brett Cruz now leading. Watching these 2 drivers, both Toyota development drivers. Brett Cruz, the 17-year-old from Hickory, North Carolina, leading this one. He's part-timer right now.
And Jamie, Brad's pointed out a couple times this tire situation there, which makes that pass by Brett Cruz even more impressive with the
Older tires.
20 lap older tires. Some of those were under yellow, but it still matters. And he stayed right there with him and waited until he got the opportunity.
63 laps to go here. Brett Cruz continues to lead over Gio Ruggiero. We'll step aside. You won't miss a thing. We're going to box side by side.
Brent Cruz on cruise control. That was a bad, it might have been a bad dad joke, but Brent Cruz out in front of the field here, trying to pick up where he left off from the Charlotte Roval. He's running part-time in the Truck Series this season. Remember, he ended up dominating that final stage. If it wasn't for an overtime restart, probably was going to end up winning the race. And Corey Heim, who trails right now in the 5th spot, moving up to 4th the last time by on Chandler Smith. We'll see if he's going to be able, or on Jack Wood, excuse me, moving up to 4th, now Smith to 3rd. But we'll see if he's going to be able to keep his gap back to his teammate. Now, one truck around against the outside wall. That'd be the 22. Bringing out a caution. With 60 laps to go, caution flag is out here at the Martinsville Speedway. And Cruz, after starting to pull out ahead to a decent-sized lead, that lead is now gone. A lot of racing still to go. Enfinger and Hemrick in the must-win situations on the playoff side of things are 10th and 11th. So not looking great for them. And for Tyler Ankrum, he is still outside the top 15. Ankrum, as of right now, at the time of caution, is 18th place. Honeycutt is in 8th. So Honeycutt, I believe, is minus 1 point to Ankrum as we run, because he has to beat him by 11 positions. Majeski has to beat Tyler Ankrum by 4 positions, and he is 1 spot ahead of Honeycutt. And Lynn Riggs only has to beat Ankrum by 9 spots. And he's another spot ahead of Majeski yet. So as of right now, Ankrum is in a very tough position after getting a lot of stage points today, but he's mired back in traffic. He was not able to move his way through the field like the 98, 34, and 52. Trying to work on getting the 22 truck back to pit road. That would be AJ Waller, who went for a spin, causing the incident that has put us under caution for the 7th time today. No contact, it looked like. Kind of lazily backed it up against the wall. Truck came out from underneath him on entry into turns, it looks like 3 and 4. Where that spin had taken place. Pit road is open.
This guy's right there. You don't want fresh tires right behind
Only
you.
drivers at the back are
What do you
pitting.
risk giving up the track position.
Yeah, Honeycutt to me has one of the difficult decisions to make. I should say his crew chief.
Well, pit road not open. Yeah, that was Waller on pit road who had brought out the yellow. So pit road still closed. I would imagine it'll open this time by. 57 laps left. I don't imagine drivers at the front of the pack are going to pit. Hemrick and Enfinger, they might end up pitting and put that last set of tires on because they're in a must-win situation. I don't think they're going to drive anywhere near the front of the field from 10th or 11th. There's many trucks on the lead lap. It's going to have to take a wreck fest for them just to get back up there again anyway. 25 trucks are currently on the lead lap. Now pit road's open. Jack Wood will come in from 5th. Hemrick is in. Enfinger does not pit. 45 of Bailey Curry is in. So Hemrick going to move up 2 spots to 9th. That's all of the trucks that would have pit in front of him was just 2. And Hemrick with a Hail Mary mode here. Heavy damage on the front of his truck. Trying to take fresh tires from outside the top 20.
They may come in. They decide against it. Daniel Hemrick.
Didn't have much to lose. Like I said, he's got a set laying down here to put on. Was not in a position to play offense. Let's see what Amanda says.
Yeah, just watching Kevin Bellacore synchronize this whole thing, telling his crew guy, take these 4 tires, the splash of fuel, and lead her off. Fully enough, Daniel Hemrick is reporting that the balance on this truck is good. This will be the last stop for the 19, so if something's going to happen, it'll be right here.
I like this big call for Daniel. Nothing to lose. Let's put my driver on offense. Hasn't been our night. Really not even from our own fault. That restart damage just put him so far behind. but now he gets a chance.
Hemrick did win at Martinsville back in the spring, though his truck wasn't near as damaged as it is tonight, and overall probably just had a slightly better truck. But it was a situation kind of like what could happen this weekend and what it's going to take for him to win. A lot of cautions after cautions with drivers at the front of the pack getting taken out. The guy who had a back half of the top 10 truck that night, 6 to 8, gets the race win. Hemrick, at his best, has been 6 to 8. That probably leaned towards 8 to 12th place truck this evening, even before the damage. But when there's a will, there's a way. That team trying to will itself into victory lane for the second time at the same track this season. When they were talking about Ty Majeski on the broadcast a little bit earlier, and him not getting championship, or getting the championship a year ago at Phoenix, he only won a few races last year, and they were all on short flat ovals. And this season, he has definitely looked the best on short tracks when it comes to what type of racetrack Ty Majeski's competing at, and that's no surprise. But as a whole, ThorSport Racing hasn't won this year. And the last time, under this format, we saw a driver win a championship with no wins, it was Matt Crafton, racing for ThorSport, back in 2018, I believe. If it wasn't 2018, it was 2019. It might have been 2019. Either way, Crafton didn't have a win. And the guy leading the most races, nearly the most laps all time in a single season, Corey Heim, still obviously would have to go out there next week, beat the other 3 drivers he's competing with. I almost wonder, with the speed Ty Majeski has shown tonight, capable, I think, with track position to hold off Corey Heim, just hasn't been able to get in front of him on a restart. Does Ty Majeski win the title next weekend at Phoenix? Does Corey Heim actually have another one slip away from him? This one, obviously, the one that easily should have been his. I mean, you break records like that, most wins in a single season, most laps led in a single season. Video game numbers for Corey Heim this year at the Craftsman Truck Series level, and still does not have the championship locked up. That might be the straw that broke the camel's back as to how the playoff format may end up being next year. We'll see. Or if we have one at all, who knows? A driver with no wins beats the guy who won the most races in a single season. 52 laps to go on the restart. Green flag back in the air. Brent Cruz leads. Gio Ruggiero in second.
We have some action tonight, and here we go. 52 laps to go with this one. We will decide with Championship 4 moving on to Phoenix in a week from now.
Great restart for Brent Cruz.
Chandler Smith inside the 38th. We'll talk about him much tonight.
They finished here around the same time as Brent Cruz and those guys, and he has just been steady and quiet. They've had a great qualifying run, but remember, that's the team truck to Lane Riggs, who has been the dominant truck all weekend long.
Chandler on short tracks, you just expect he's going to find a way to get it done at some point. He's been so good on the short tracks and showing that right now.
So just an update on our Championship 8 contenders. Raja Karoon had severe damage. He is out of the race and out of contention. Daniel Hemrick with a lot of damage. He just came in, took his last set of tires. He's back in 24th. Tyler Ankrum was expected to come in, guys, but we got word from Amanda that maybe some rear brake issues. They told him to stay out on track. And by the way, 5 trucks ahead of him hit it, so that gave him an automatic 5 spot.
And I think that's what they got to be thinking right now is if we're going to struggle because of those positions, he is now +2 to the good. So this is going to be something to continue to monitor. And we know that Tyler Ankram's truck is good enough if he gets to the front, barring anything catastrophic with those rear brake issues that he's fighting, that he can maybe maintain.
Big pass right there for Cave Honeycutt around time. Majeski gives him an extra point cushion.
The 52 truck, the blue one there.
He really battled Ty Majeski hard. We're like Ty knew what was on the line. Kind of like I was saying earlier, he just needs a good day, not a great day for Ty Majeski. And yet somebody behind him who needs a great day. Maybe not the time to block. He let him go, got back in line, lived to fight another day.
There's just a lot of breathing room for Ty Majeski. Grab those 5 points. He can leisurely stroll.
for NASCAR and the way the playoff structure is, 5 points right now feels like, well,
I am so nervous for all these guys right now. One thing goes wrong, and
First,
they crack.
caution comes out again. Tony Breininger hard into the outside wall. Oh, and the 84 as well. Patrick Sarapoli.
Just as Lane Riggs had cleared for the 4th position, he and Corey Heim had slowly carved their way through the field with a lot of laps left and slightly fresher tires.
Caden Honeycutt was all over Gio Ruggiero and Lane Riggs.
Tony was having a decent race here, run the 20th. Kind of a quiet day for her. Ooh, so she's going to get some contact with Corey LaJoy. It's going to turn all around into the outside wall in turns 1 and 2.
how many times do we see that at Martinsville, Brad? Somebody makes that move down to the bottom, and the truck on the outside maybe either doesn't know or doesn't have time to react to it. You get up on that curb, and as you make that dive bomb move, and truck on the outside always gets the worst of it.
Corey LaJoy had pitted for new tires. He's trying to work his way back through the field. Not a lot of patience for making passes, nor should you when you're trying to make your way through the field, and this is what happens.
Minding her own business. Great equipment, but it's got to be frustrating knowing 3 of your teammates are up there in the top 4. Well, track cleanup continues.
Shots fired by Jamie Little on the broadcast. Tony Breidinger's way. Great equipment, but got to be frustrating with 3 of your other teammates in the top 4. And I don't think Breidinger's been inside the top 20 the whole night. Yikes. I think a lot of people tend to forget that Tony Breidinger actually races in the same team, for the same team that Corey Heim has been racing. And to be fair, Heim has been putting a beating on his teammates throughout the course of the season as well. Gio Ruggiero, being a rookie, finally was able to break through and get a win at Talladega last week, slowly turning the corner through the playoff races. I noticed, despite not qualifying for the playoffs, kind of similar to how Lane Riggs did late in the year last year. Not to the extent of Riggs, because Riggs' wins came on non-super speedways, and most of those short ovals, he was really starting to be competitive. And then obviously you turn the corner to this season, Lane Riggs is easily the second best driver in the series behind Corey Heim by way of how the performance has been in 2025. Brent Cruz had a great run at the Roval, probably had that race won, had a caution not came out late, forcing overtime. I don't think Corey Heim was going to catch him late. Kind of matching lap times with one another with a couple second lead down into the final 2 to 3 laps of that race. And Cruz back out in front, obviously, in today's race. Gio Ruggiero was able to lead some laps. Here tonight, 25 laps led for Ruggiero, 27 for Cruz now. 59 for Corey Heim, who is in 4th. And Riggs is led for 27. Riggs is in 5th. Grant Enfinger got up to 6th on that restart in the must-win situation. Daniel Hemrick still outside the top 15. And Tyler Ankrum got his way back up to 12th. I believe had fresher tires on that last restart. In a better situation than what he was. Honeycutt in 7th. Looks like things are slowly starting to slip away for him. Less trucks, I should say, start dropping out of the race in front of him. Ankrum taken out in an incident there as well.
Sitting to my right will be in the race car, cup practice, and qualifying. Excited for the weekend, Brad? Just
Yeah.
races to go in the season.
I love Martinsville. This is always one of the best races of the year. Long race, Cup Series race, 500 laps. Feels like 1,000. But it's a good one. Can't miss NASCAR race.
Do you keep those clocks wound up all the time that you've got? Do you let them die down?
I've got 2 as a driver and 1 as an owner, and they're hard to keep up with. But you know who's having a hard time keeping up with his truck right now, actually, speaking of that, is Ty Majeski. I think we have some audio on him, some of the props he's faced.
Yeah, we got brake drops here. I can't get a pedal at all. I get it back, but it goes far. I get it.
That's not something that you want to have happen. And what he's referencing is when those brakes start to go soft, you got to hit the pedal that many times before you have a solid pedal going into the corner to slow it down. Now, the good news is right now, typically that comes from heat in the brakes. So these yellow flags are good for Ty Majeski, but let's keep an eye on that. If we get a long run here when we go back green, that we saw him fading just a little bit, and now we know why right before the yellow flag came out. And I know we thought maybe he was being a little cautious because he was good in the point situation, but this could be something that builds as the race goes.
So fortunately for Ty, he doesn't have that many laps left. Sounds like he's able to still get a pedal. He just has to work really hard for it.
And I like the calmness out of Ty. That's an experienced veteran that has been on the short tracks his whole life and has had this before.
And Grant Henfinger decided to come down and take those tires. He pitted from 8th. They'll restart 22nd here. Good move, guys.
It's a fine move. The only question I've got is I would have liked to have done it on the previous yellow. It was apparent that he probably wasn't in a position to win on the previous yellow. You could have at least made up a few spots before the yellow, maybe been up 5 or 6 more positions right now. So we'll have to see if it works out.
I need a lot of carnage here to make his way through the field, and none of that carnage can be.
That's the other key.
Brent Cruz, the control truck, Chandler Smith on the outside. It'll be 38 laps to go. Green flag in the air once again, nose to nose into turn 1. Kane Honeycutt peeks out. Look at lane breaks on the outside of Corey Hine.
Honeycutt needing these 1 or 2 points to transfer his way through. If the field stays as it is now, big fall on Chandler Smith. That's going to move Corey Hine through to second.
Not sure that Chandler Smith has done battle for this just yet. I imagine he didn't like that dive bomb into the corner. Now you got his teammate, Lane Rick's going to be the inside of him as well.
All these battles are so pivotal. Points battle is so close in one spot. Can make or break your entire season again.
And these moves are just going to continue to get more and more aggressive, Brad. I mean, we are 35 or 36 laps to go. We are in crunch time right now, and there's going to be no apologies, right? You're just going to take the move and do what you got to do at this point.
Well, the 45, Bailey Curry. He's on pit road. Expect to stay green.
I'm Majeski. Sam here behind Tanner Reese holding up Daniel Hamrick.
Daniel Hemrick is officially done. Succumbed to all of the issues they endured with that truck, so he is out of playoff contention.
That team did such a nice job that even get him back out there with the ability to try and battle for it, even got up into the top 10 with all that damage at one point, and unfortunate that it's going to come to an end early.
Meanwhile, the non-playoff driver, part-timer in this series, 17-year-old Brent Cruz continues to lead over his teammate Corey Hine. Chandler Smith back to 3rd, and then you have Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt. Caden has to get around Lane at this point if he wants a shot. He's 2 points out right now. He needs a couple of spots. He needs an elevator.
There's 2 ways for Case to transfer. Comes up there, gets it, or he needs some misfortune for Tyler Ingram. Tyler Ingram has leveled himself out in that 11th position, holding a decent gap to the trucks around him, but there's new tires behind him. So this could get really chaotic if this next 32 laps stays green.
Racing with his visor up. Is that just to get some fresh air in there?
Absolutely. He's all eyes forward right now. This is his season. He's done a great job. Had a lot of adversity throughout the year, and he's still in contention right here. And I'll tell you, if he can stay this close to Lane Riggs for the next 30 laps, he's got a shot at a kind of a last lap Hail Mary here to make his way in.
Yeah, I think the flip side, if he does get by Lane Riggs right here, that's almost like a 2-for-1 pass because it takes a point away from Lane. That would put Lane back to +1 to the cutoff, and it would make him -1. So you're even closer right there. And how much more important right now, Jody, as this is shaking up right now, you look at the left side of your screen, Lane Riggs with the fastest lap of the race emblem next to his name. How much more important does that become? That at one point could be the difference in moment.
Unbelievable. An entire season comes down to this moment and could be defined. Your season can be defined by that 1 point that gets you to Phoenix.
See on the left side of your screen there, Tyler Ankrum battling for every spot he could get 2 to the good right now. That's 2 positions right in front of him.
But
He would love to have those.
because Tyler Ankrum has that 2-point cushion. But Kate Honeycutt, if he gets 1 point, it's right there.
It's right there.
Right? So it changes the whole philosophy here for what Kate Honeycutt needs to do if he's 2 versus 1 points behind.
Now, Caden Honeycutt ties here for Tyler Ankrum. The tie break would go to the 52. Well, second playoff driver out of this race, Daniel Hemrick. He's standing by with Amanda.
Yeah, Jenny, you can see the hood up at the 19 here with us in the garage area. Daniel, how will you digest tonight for yourself?
I couldn't hear a single word you said, but yeah, I'm just proud of the fight of everyone else. Napa number 19 team. I appreciate Napa and I being on board, and really appreciate everything Napa Auto Care, Daytime Drawing, South Point Hotel Casino, Puppy Bank, everything that everyone's given us all year, including Chevrolet, to just go and be in that spot. And we just this wasn't the last couple of weeks for us, and I know we're better than this. And still, we fought to the bitter end until we broke the engine, having to run it so hot all night. So, not ideal. There's a lot to be said, right? Love the victory, great to send defeat, and definitely did a good job of not putting it together the last couple of weeks. And within the day, like, we got to be our best throughout this stretch to have a chance, and not gonna happen this year.
Daniel and Jamie, team members were here patting him on the back when he made it here, and he was speechless until that interview.
Well, a lot to keep their head up for about what they did their first year together here at Bacanelli Hillman Racing. And meanwhile, the battle is heating up. Tyler Ankrum trying with all his might to get around with 41. Jones,
And he's got to make this pass. These trucks behind him have newer tires, and they are coming. If he does not get by the 41, he's going to get 8. Gio Ruggiero right back there. He's coming fast. A lot of action behind him. This is a big moment for Tyler Ankrum.
And they got side by side.
Oh,
Gio Ruggiero sends Connor Bozak to the outside wall. Caution is out.
You can see that coming, though. The Wolves were coming to eat, all with faster tires. Someone was going to get 8. Fortunately, it's Connor Bozak.
So that's the 9th caution on the night.
And now what do? If you're Tyler Ankrum, you've got those fresh tires, Brad, as you just mentioned, you're going to restart with them all around you. You're going to be the buffer to the rest of the field for them. You can't afford to lose any positions. And obviously you're not pitting at this point. So Tyler Ankrum's going to have to just get up on the wheel and take the bull by the horn, essentially.
Absolutely. We'll go green probably here with about 15 laps to go. There's 21 now. This caution will probably be a 5 or 6 lap caution. So it won't be a terribly long time to go, to your point, Regan, but he's in trouble. Yes. Yeah. This is not the spot he wants to be in.
Let's listen to Tyler Ankrum's radio.
Go tell the Warrior.
Yeah, and I had a feeling we were going to hear that. Well, while we were talking to Daniel Hemrick and Amanda was talking to Daniel Hemrick, you saw them get side by side, and Tyler was trying to complete that pass. They leaned on each other quite a bit through the corner right there with that side by side battle. And when you're racing for points and racing for an opportunity to win a championship, you get frustrated really quick with guys. And not that the 41 of Connor Jones was doing anything wrong. He's outrunning his race as well. It just, you get even more frustrated as that playoff driver.
But he's just here to go for a win in the race. He's a part-timer. Points don't matter to him at this point, but they do for the 18.
100%.
He's not doing anything wrong. He's just running his race, to your point. And, if you're Tyler Ankrum, like I have so much on the line. Well, give me a little break. But that's not what racing is. That's in fact, that's exactly the opposite of what racing is. We're supposed to be racing each other for every point, every position, every lap.
Well, start your Saturday strong as a resurgent UCLA takes on the number 2 Indiana. Then it's a Big 12 clash between 11th ranked BYU and Iowa State. It all starts with big noon Saturday, only on Fox. How about Indiana? How about those Hoosiers?
Your Indiana teams are having a good year, Jamie. It's very impressive for them. It'll be a great game tomorrow on Fox at noon.
The Pacers, we almost won the championship last year. The Fever did great. It's good to be an Indiana fan. And even Chase Briscoe, a Hoosier, punching his ticket to the championship for. It's
a couple of weeks.
A big state.
There's so many wagons to jump on if you're from Indiana right now. Wow, how do you pick one?
I'll tell you, the wagon that I'm watching is the Caden Honeycutt wagon. 2 points back. Tyler Ankrum is up against the ropes. What kind of move is Caden Honeycutt going to make here when we go back green? I'm curious what his mindset and mentality is. He can find himself in trouble and get over aggressive here and hand this to Tyler Ankrum. This is a big moment.
Brad, he just needs to get up on the wheel like you've done twice before here in the Cup Series. Got a couple of those grandfather clocks. There he is.
those were good days. I got to tell you, winning at Martinsville, it's one of my favorite
Look
wins
at
in my
you.
entire career. It was just an incredible feeling. This track has so much.
So Ty Majeski, as we sit right now, is 4 points above the cut line, sitting in fourth. To that of the first driver out, Caden Honeycutt, who is minus 2 points below both Tyler Ankrum and Lane Riggs. That is the playoff situation we are at. We're under caution, 17 laps to go. Field has not gotten the 1 to go signal yet. So I'd imagine we'll probably have 15 laps left on the restart. Corey Heim, Brent Cruz looking to restart on the front row in the battle for the race win. Chandler Smith in third, right there with his teammate Lane Riggs. Tight points battle. 3 drivers will get in of the 4 around the cut line of Majeski, Riggs, Ankrum, and Honeycutt. It's been close all night between these guys, and there would have been a 5th in there, Raja Karuth, for 3 spots. But unfortunately, was caught up in an earlier incident in stage 2. It's our 9th caution of the race, where we're under right now, a lap 184 of 200. About a third of the race has been spent under yellow. Not a surprise with the truck race at Martinsville. We tend to see this on a pretty annual basis, especially with this elimination race. Spring race earlier this season had quite a few cautions also. Keep fading in and out. Am I close to the computer? I am. I'm right here. I'm on camera. Shouldn't be any more issues with the audio. "15 laps to go on the restart. Green flag back in the air. Cruz and Heim on the front row, and Brent Cruz down on the bottom of row 1. Corey Heim on the outside. Caden Honeycutt gets by Lane Riggs in the 34, who was actually boxed in behind his teammate Chandler Smith. Was Riggs. Honeycutt not only gets by the 34, he's going to get by the 38 also. And Brent Cruz leans on his teammate, left rear corner panel, to lead that lap back at the line, as Heim is trying his best to stay on the outside. Honeycutt got shot out of a cannon on that restart. He is getting away right now. Caution is out behind everybody at the front of the field. 10th yellow of the race. And I believe Cruz is going to be scored as the leader still. Oddly enough, Honeycutt's former ride with Bailey Curry in the 45 truck brings out the yellow. And I think Honeycutt wanted that to stay green with where he was at. He was starting to get away from Riggs a bit there. Riggs was struggling just to get by his teammate Chandler Smith. And shakes the cut line up just a little bit more. With Honeycutt gaining 2 positions on the restart, vaults himself now above the cut line. He does not have the tiebreaker on any of the 3 guys he is trying to chase. It's actually kind of looking back at that. Both Ankrum and Riggs have better finishes in this round than Caden Honeycutt. Tiebreaker, if we do have any ties, is the best finish in the round. Best finish for Lane Riggs was 5th last weekend at Talladega, 6th for Ankrum last week. Ty Majeski's best finish was 3rd at Talladega, and Honeycutt 10th, which actually came at Vegas. Another yellow late. We'll have less than 10 laps to go in the next restart. You're listening live on KRC. We'll take a quick break while we're under caution yet once more. Headed down to the wire at Martinsville. Points as they run have Caden Honeycutt up 1 position on Lane Riggs. Ankrum +2, Majeski +3. Riggs needs to find a way to gain one spot. His teammate Chandler Smith, I would imagine, would be that one spot. In the event of that happening, we would be in a tie, and Riggs again has the tiebreaker over Honeycutt. We circuit under caution. 1 to go, given this time by. We're going to have 9 laps left on the next restart. Will we stay green to the end? I don't think so, but if we do, this would be the finish. Honeycutt has the chest, ain't it? May have to. Could you imagine with where he's at right now, a wall ride would be pretty much for the win in 3rd place. He could win this race. Interesting. Heim was the leader at the caution, not Brent Cruz. Cruz might have had his bumper out in front at the time of yellow, but the last scoring loop before that, it was Corey Heim. Cruz takes the inside of row 2 on the restart, so that moves Honeycutt up to the front row on the outside lane now. Green flag back in the air. Cruz did not fire off well on the restart initially. Chandler Smith into the back of the 52 of Honeycutt. Honeycutt holds on strong on the outside, though Brent Cruz is going to look to the bottom. Honeycutt clear up off the exit of turn 2. Holds on for second, so that's another spot gain for Honeycutt. Kind of had a freebie with the 1 restarting inside of the 2nd row for whatever reason. A little bit of contact for Majeski up out of turn 2. Tanner Gray in the 15 looking underneath him. Everybody under a blanket, excuse me. Cruz is bogging everybody up. Oh, Majeski got a big piece of the wall up out of turn 2. Loses a couple of positions down the back straightaway. Corey LaJoy in the 77 going to get by. Obviously, Tanner Gray gets by, and that was who the contact was with after Majeski got squeezed against the fence. Majeski into the back of the 77, which shoves the 15 wide as Majeski's doing all he can to keep cars behind him, as well as gain positions ahead. Tyler Ankrum has made his way to Ty Majeski, as Majeski sits right now 2 points above the cut line on Lane Riggs in 5th. +2 for Honeycutt, +2 for Majeski, +3 for Ankrum. Ankrum drives past the 98. He is getting well on his way to making it to the championship 4. Spin out of turn 2. 41 truck is around of Jones. Couple of other trucks have to stop behind him, one of which also spun across the back straightaway, and we're under caution yet again. Our 11th of the race, with about 5 laps to go. And on to overtime we go.
That restart complete.
2nd week in a row we'll have overtime in the Truck Series. Last week at Talladega, now this week Martinsville. In fact, every race last week at Talladega Truck Xfinity Cup all went to overtime. So this is actually 4 Premier Series events in a row that have had yellows late.
Contact Ty Majeski there outside in the 98.
You can see this truck is bouncing.
Yeah, it just went right up the racetrack. That was
Really strange.
odd.
Almost like he's got a tiger going down or something.
Yeah, and that was after the wall contact on the restart. And not sure that we've seen that truck do that all night long, and a little bit odd. So we'll have to keep an eye on what's going on there to cause that.
That's why Regan, he had contact with the wall, maybe 1 lap earlier. I wonder if it damaged the suspension on that truck. It didn't look right.
Let's listen to Majeski's radio.
I got it. Thanks.
See the left front damage right here, but it, kind of like Ty said, it looked like it was coming from the right front.
And I don't think that left front, it's not even rubbing, so I don't think that's anything. And I kind of imagine when he says
That's where he got in the wall right here off of turn 2. Ooh, pretty good contact.
and Lane just thinking he was cleared, right? It's the end of the race. You're taking every inch that you could take right there. Tom's not going to back out either in this moment. You see it, it gets the worst of it.
Boom. Talk about a stressful moment.
I know.
Man, right here.
And we're going to have a restart with the green-white checker to finish it all off here. Lane Riggs 1 point back. He's got his teammate around him.
Todd.
Yeah, Jamie, the guys in the booth hit it right on the money. It talked about the front of Ty's truck bouncing. Well, earlier in the race, Ty complained about a bounce. He told his crew chief, Joe Shear, it's exactly like it was in the spring. It's got that same bounce. So spot on, guys.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing right now for Ty is, there's no more pit stops. You got 2 laps to go, and he's just going to have to find a way to wheel that truck around the corner for these last 2 laps. And right now he's 1 to the good. So can he find a way? And I guess where I'm scratching my head a little
2
bit.
laps, so you get so many 2 laps.
2 laps. But do you take the inside? Do you take the outside, knowing that how can you hold them off better? What lane do you pick based on that?
All right, guys, it's going to be our first attempt here at NASCAR overtime. As the
Keyword
leaders
first attempt.
come out at turn 4 and see the overtime rules. It's 2-lap shootout. The leader takes the white flag. The next flag will end the race, whether it's green or it's caution.
So I'm looking at this kind of 4-way battle between 18 Tyler Ingram, the 52 Caden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski 98, and Lane Riggs 34. All of these guys are within 4 points of each other. So it will not take much for this to dramatically reshape based on what happens on this restart. There's room for 3 of them. There's not room for 4 of them.
And much like the previous restart, this choose is going to be critical, right? Who takes what lane? Why do you select which row you select? And it honestly can be one bump can send you back 4 positions in one corner. So this thing's going to keep shaking up here, on this restart for this green, white, checkered. And I don't know that we're going to know until well after they cross the start finish line who's going to be racing in Phoenix for a championship.
Yep.
All this is happening. Corey Heim is just smiling, saying, I think I can get it.
Well, Corey Heim is smiling as far as trying to get the race win goes, but Caden Honeycutt will be on the outside of row number 1 for the 2nd consecutive time. Honeycutt's in a tough spot. You obviously want to go for the win. Win guarantees you a spot, so that way whatever happens in the rearview mirror as far as how many positions are gained by other drivers as you sit 2 points above the cut line, is that going to be enough to make it in? So Ankrum is plus 4 positions. He'll be restarting on the inside of row 5. Ty Majeski on the outside of row 4 is plus 1. Minus 2 for Lane Riggs, who will be outside of row 2 behind Honeycutt, who is plus 2 points above him. This is going to be interesting. Now, Lane Riggs, does he ship the 52 truck up the racetrack into the first start? I don't think he does. Well, you know what? I take that back. I think he might do it because he needs to gain 2 positions. He gets 1 on the restart, restarting in front of Chandler Smith, who took the inside of row 3. Riggs is on the outside, so Riggs may only need 1 more spot. Green flag back in the air. He's all over the 52 truck out of the restart zone. As they roll through turns 1 and 2, Corey Heim out in front of the field will have the lead up out of turn 2. Honeycutt on the outside of Brent Cruz, and it'll be Lane Riggs charging hard down on the bottom, needing to gain 1 more position at least if he's going to want to make it into the next round. He gets to the inside of Brent Cruz up off the exit of the corner. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Honeycutt holds on to 2nd. Lane Riggs is going to have to use the bumper to get past the 1 of Brent Cruz. He uses him up. He looks to the inside. Into 3 and 4. He needs 1 more position. Up on the high side is Cruz. Inside is Riggs. Riggs doors him as they cross the stripe. Riggs is going to get that 1 spot. And as for Majeski and Ankrum at the back of the pack, they remain in the same spot they restarted. They will make it as well. So I believe on a tiebreaker, it'll be Lane. Well, actually, no, tiebreaker goes to Caden Honeycutt because Honeycutt finished 2nd in the race, which would be the tiebreaker. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that being a possibility. Lane Riggs got the 1 point he needed on the restart, but because Caden Honeycutt finished in 2nd place, he actually gets the tiebreaker for the best finish in the round. Valiant effort by Riggs, but to no avail with a 3rd place run tonight, which is 1 spot off the tiebreaker then for Honeycutt, who ends up in 2nd. Back-to-back top 5s for Riggs at Talladega and this weekend at Martinsville, but that wreck that he had back at Vegas did him in. Majeski and Ankrum are showing plus 1 above the cut line. Riggs was 1 more pass away from beating the 98-18 and the 52 on points. He was 1 pass away from beating all 3 of them. 2 on a tiebreaker, 1 via 1 point. And instead, he's going to be the odd man out. Meanwhile, Corey Heim captures his 11th race win of the season. So yes, it is Heim time yet again. So Corey Heim wins 2 of the 3 races in the round. Tricon Garage sweeps the round with Gio Ruggiero, the non-playoff driver, winning at Talladega. And by 1 point, Ty Majeski and Tyler Ankrum will make it in. And on a tiebreaker, Caden Honeycutt. That's got to be the closest margin from 2nd to 5th at the end of an elimination race of the Championship 4 that we've probably had across all 3 of the top series in NASCAR since this playoff format has been introduced. For the Truck Series back in 2017 and the round-by-round knockout format since 2014 on the Cup side. You're going to get to hear interviews from, I'm sure, all of the Championship 4 competitors for next week, starting off with Corey Heim, who picks up his 11th win of the season. Heim is still 7 laps led away from Mike Skinner's all-time record for the most laps led in a single season, but probably end up getting that at Phoenix next week. Here's Heim celebrating on the front stretch. 3rd grandfather clock, by the way, here at Martinsville in the Truck Series for the 11.
Wins the 2025 championship.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions yet, man. We got a big race next week, and like we talked about, I wanted the momentum going to Phoenix, keep all our guys with heads held high, and you know what they're working on going into Phoenix, and I feel like it was definitely a rocky race there, again behind our track position, but we wanted to capitalize on our day and make the most of it. So I really didn't think we had the truck that we had in the spring, but once we got out front, it really showed that we had something to work with here. So just so grateful for Tricon Garage, showing us Safe Flight, Mobile One, Celsius, just everyone that's gotten me to this point so far, and got a big one next week to close it out. So it's gonna be tough, but I'm confident we can do it.
So that's your race winner, Lane Riggs. Honeycutt, Ankrum, Majeski will be joining Heim in the Championship 4.
For points,
Here's Todd Bodine,
you
who
won
was
the
caught up to
tiebreaker,
Lane
you
Riggs.
did all you could do getting at the end.
Yeah, I was dejected even when I thought we were in it first. I just don't like racing that way, man. Like, I'm here and got to get one, and everybody knows how it is. I mean, if I got the opportunity to get in for my team, I'm going to do it, even if I don't want to do it the way I do. So, I mean, I got there at the end, and I hate I roughed up the one. Glad it still finished pretty good. But, yeah, man, it all kind of started with that missed shift on that restart. I'm not really sure what happened. I've never missed a shift in a truck in my whole career. And we do have some new transmissions. I guess I'm just not quite used to them yet. So, pretty upset about that. I think things could have been a lot different. But I mean, it all started at the Roval, getting turned around lap 1, go to Talladega, having all the issues we had. So definitely dejected. I would have been dejected if we were even in 4th. I just don't like it, man.
Late race, tough night.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, he's had a great season. He's been in position. He was, if I'm Corey Heim, I'm kind of happy about that, to be honest, because he was my top competitor to go to Phoenix and compete against me. So Lane's been really fast. That team's been really strong. Just didn't come together for him, like you said, a lot different than reason.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think it's between Heim and Majeski for the championship, and I'd be utterly shocked if either Tyler Ankrum or Caden Honeycutt end up winning the title next week. I mean, for Ankrum and Honeycutt to make the championship 4, Tyler Ankrum, 2 career wins. His second came earlier this season at Rockingham. His first, I believe, was back in 2020 at Kentucky. So 2 career wins for Ankrum, none for Caden Honeycutt. He's in the Championship 4, and here's Ty Majeski, the defending series champion, who is also there.
Passion, we wanted to do it in Todd. Felt like we missed a little bit as a 98 team. Joe and I work really closely together on, what to put in these trucks week in and week out. So, just missed it as a group tonight. But the biggest thing was persevering, qualifying well, getting stage points early, and being, sort of on in a good spot going into stage 3. And some of the other guys got desperate and paid for it. So just stayed the course. Got shoved in the wall off it too. I thought I had a flat right front. Obviously a lot happened tonight, but proud of everybody with curb records, soda sense. We're gonna go try and defend our title.
There you go. Joe Shear, Ty Majeski going back to Phoenix.
Ty Majeski going to the Championship 4 for the 3rd time, and Joe Shear, he's been here a few times. This will be his 6th time. Amanda.
Well, Tyler, you've been talking about how this round of the playoff was the haunted house, and you were hoping that there would be rainbows and sunshine as you exited. And boy, I get to tell you, that's going to find you in Phoenix. How did you survive this haunted house?
I'm going to church tomorrow. I haven't been in a couple years, but I'm freaking going to church. Started that third stage, came down to pit road. We had a top 5 truck, and we were just, depending on the restart, whether we were there 4th, the 5th, the 6th. We had a pit gun break on the left front, and it was just like, oh no, like this is it. This is how the the dream ends, right? But no, it was a good effort by everyone. I could see it on the pylon. It was like +2, like that second or third restart to go, and it was just like time to go. It's so tight in points, so I can't thank Lyuna enough. Chevrolet, MHR, everybody.
It's real.
Yes, thank.
Tyler Ankrum going to the championship for the first time. So is Mark Hillman, his crew chief. Caden Honeycutt had his career best finish tonight. Finished second. He's going to the championship for. Stuart Friesen must be beside himself after all this excitement.
What a job. All these teams have made it through. I mean, that was exactly what you want for a race. And it came down to good, hard racing at the end, Brad. And that's what I like the most. These guys raced it out.
A great night for the Craftsman Truck Series. Epic battles all night long. Martinsville always delivers. This was a terrific race. Glad you all joined us.
Great to have you. Brad Kozlowski, Regan Smith, Todd Bodine, Amanda Busick, and
For the sake of the playoffs format, wouldn't it be insane, though, if Caden Honeycutt wins the championship next week without having a win in his career in the Craftsman Truck Series? Because that's actually possible. Oh, my goodness. I really hope Corey Heim is able to get it done next weekend at Phoenix. This is the final live commentary stream for a Craftsman truck race this year. We'll go through the finishing results. We have to do that yet. Other race statistics here as we run down the next several minutes to the end of the stream. Corey Heim with the race win, 11th of the season for him, adding on to the record. I mentioned already he is 7 laps led away from Mike Skinner for the all-time laps led lead in a single season in the Craftsman Truck Series. So just 7 laps led next week at Phoenix, and he'll get there. He had 77 laps led tonight, had to get to 84 on that number. Caden Honeycutt finishes in second, best career finish, and the runner-up gets him the tiebreaker, in which takes down Lane Riggs, who finished third, 1 spot behind him for that final cut line spot for the championship 4. So Honeycutt will be racing for a title next week alongside Heim, despite the fact that Corey Heim has 11 wins on the season. Caden Honeycutt has 0 on his career. It's got to be the most, lopsided stat line I think I've seen with this playoff format maybe ever. Lane Riggs, after the third place position, Brent Cruz with another top 5 run, second of this round, despite obviously only running 2 races at the round. I don't even think he ran at Talladega last week. I could be wrong on that. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I thought Sawalich might have been in that one truck. But anyway, yeah, solid run for Brent Cruz. As far as Corey LaJoy goes, top 5 run for him, finishing in 5th at Martinsville this evening. Chandler Smith 6th. 7th place for Ty Majeski, who by 1 point makes it to the championship 4, also winless on the season. And Tyler Ankrum made it in with a 9th place run tonight, also +1 above the cut line. Tanner Gray, another Tricon Garage truck, in 8th place with his finish. Brennan Queen rounds out the top 10. He'll be running full-time next year for Colleague in the Ram entry. As for this season, solid runs throughout so far for Queen on a part-time ride. Won the ARCA Championship already as well. So Brennan Queen, top 10 finish. Gio Ruggiero ends up 11th after winning last week at Talladega. Grant Enfinger finishes 12th, eliminated from the playoffs, basically in a must-win situation coming in. Jack Wood 13th, Ben Rhodes 14th, Patrick Staropoli in 15th. Timmy Hill 16th, 17th for Spencer Boyd, Jake Garcia 18th, Dawson Sutton 19th, Justin Carroll 20th, 21st for Bailey Curry, Connor Jones 22nd, Frankie Muniz 23rd. And that was the last truck to finish on the lead lap. 2 laps down for Casey Mears in 24th, Logan Bearden 6 laps down in 25th. And then 26th on back, I believe, DNF tonight. Tony Breidinger 26th, Matt Mills 27th, Andres Perez 28th. I take that back. Breidinger would have finished with 7 laps down. Same for Matt Mills, 9 down, and 14 lap down for Perez, who was involved in the first incident. And then I believe Crafton on back DNF. So Matt Crafton 29th. 30th for Connor Mosack, Daniel Hemrick 31st, AJ Waller 32nd, Norm Benning 33rd, Roger Carruth 34th. Obviously eliminated, came in plus 14 above the cut line, taken out after contact nonetheless with Caden Honeycutt, which cut a tire down. Probably another aid to Honeycutt making it into the championship for tonight, as well as you can maybe argue for Majeski and Ankrum's sake as well. Definitely didn't hurt with Majeski, or rather Roger Carruth, getting taken out in stage 2. Clayton Green rounds out the field, though he did not complete a lap, pulled off the track before the start. So 1 hour, 49 minutes, 47 seconds total time of the race today. I believe we went 3 laps past the scheduled distance, so 203 out of 200 laps completed. 10 lead changes, 11 cautions, 75 laps of yellow on the originally scheduled 200-lap race. So just under 40% there. And margin of victory, 0.4 of a second for Heim in overtime over Honeycutt. Laps led on the day, 77 for Heim, 27 for Lane Riggs, 53 for Brent Cruz, who had a solid day. 20 laps led for Ty Majeski, 1 for Chandler Smith, 25 for Gio Ruggiero. And those are all the drivers who led at least 1 lap here under the lights at Martinsville. They'll be under the lights again tomorrow for the NASCAR Xfinity race. We'll be live for that one. We'll also be live for NASCAR Cup Practice and Qualifying, which will be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on the channel. 2:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we will be live for NASCAR 25 content. So triple header of content for you tomorrow afternoon and tonight on the channel. It's the final truck race that I'll be doing live commentary for this season. I'll be at the truck event at Phoenix next weekend, Friday night, because I will be at Phoenix for all of next weekend's NASCAR coverage. So this is, again, the final week of live commentary coverage for this year on KRC. So 2 more days to go. See you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your Friday night.